Welcome to Dirkson Photography. My name is Dirkson and today we are at the Photographer's Diary 2018, the last month, December. Now what happened in the life of a photographer in terms of photography during the month? And let's start off with something that I love to do, especially in December. That's the street photography that I do. So we go out on the street and photograph people wherever we meet them. And I did this very often now in December because Germany is full of people in December. There are Christmas markets everywhere and everybody's on the street. It is cold, it is very dark early, sometimes at 4 o'clock, but I can shoot from 12 o'clock noon to 4 o'clock in the evening and get 10 to 15 shootings done, and that's enough for a day. And one person came from England to Hamburg to interview me, and I found that really interesting, and it was a really nice day with Alan. He also starts his YouTube channel now, and he said he wanted me to be one of the people he interviewed. And so we went out in Hamburg on the streets, and he interviewed me and he filmed me how I talk to people on the streets. And the first people I talked to said no, don't photograph us. And he kept on filming. And I went on to the next couple and they said, no, don't photograph us. And he kept on filming and I went on to the next couple, all within a couple of minutes. And then they said yes. And then we got, I think, some really nice images together in a very few, maybe in 1 hour, 3 shootings or maybe 4 shootings. And I'm looking forward to what he creates from that day, from that moment. That was something interesting, something different. I also went to Münster. Now, usually I photograph people on the streets and they can buy the images later, and I don't use them for anything. I don't show them anywhere, so you don't really see that work that I do. But sometimes I film it and I put this on this YouTube channel. You probably know some of these videos. And I did this one day in Münster. So I chose just one city that I haven't traveled to. I was there once, but not really often. And so I photographed people on the streets. Somebody came with me, Martin, to film me. And I think we got some really nice images. And I do this to give joy to others because I believe that success means giving joy to others by doing what you love. I love taking pictures. It's what I love to do. It's what I want to do. It's what I also do free because I don't really care if I get paid or not. I only care that I do what I really like and what gives me great emotion. To me, I don't look much at the bank account. That's not the important part to look at. To me, it's the emotion. How do I feel on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? And whenever I don't feel good over a long period of time, I have to change something. And since I started photography as my main job, which is now 5 years, I started photography in September 2013 as my main job. And I'm now doing it for 5 years. It's 2nd January 2019. And since 2013 September, I have never had the feeling of going to work. And I have months where I take 40, 50, 60,000 images and they all end up in Lightroom. And I go through them all. Now I don't edit 60,000 images a month, but there are months where I take 60,000 and I edit maybe 20,000. So the summer is really heavy. But it's what I love to do, so it's not actually a work that feels negative. It's something that gives me energy. So if I do it often, it even gives me more energy because I get to know the lenses more. It gets all very easy. Editing fast is very easy. Editing an image takes about 1 to 3 seconds per image. If I edit 100 images, I have them edited maybe in 200, 300 seconds, which is about 5 minutes. And so a whole wedding is very easily edited, even though I take thousands of pictures. But because I do it so often, there's a routine. And if you have a routine in something, it gets very easy and you like it, and it gets better and better the more often you do it. So we did a lot of street photography for money, one day for free. I show you the images here. Now it was really cold, it was not nice weather, it was raining a little bit here and there. But actually you don't see it in the images. I shot with the 85 1.2 on the Canon 60 Mark II that's filming now. Mostly at f1.2, because if I have a f1.2 lens, I will use it at f1.2. And because these images on the streets, it's very easy, it's an easy job because nobody expects anything. If you are photographed on the streets within 3 minutes, you don't expect that these images will be the most important images of your life. That's not the case. But sometimes I think there come out some really beautiful images. And I remember Rafaela with her mother and her dog. I think these are special images, always nice when the mother is there. And let me give you a story that I had to think about at the beginning of December. I bought some things. Let me start off like this. When I started photography as my main income source, I didn't make any money for about 8 months. Now that was not the plan. That was not the plan, but that was actually how it turned out. And there was a moment when I went into a store and I saw a leather jacket in green. And that leather jacket was real leather, and it did cost about under 100 euros. And that's a really great price for a real leather jacket. Actually in green. I liked the color and it fit really well. But that was nearly all the money that I had in total at the age of 26, I think. That was all I had. I did not have anything. Maybe I had 130 euros on all bank accounts and in cash, and I had no income, no job, only photography, but I had no clients. And I didn't buy the jacket. But I needed a jacket actually. My jackets I wore at that time were not nice anymore. Really, really bad. And I think 3 weeks later I went into that store again and Anna was with me, and the same jacket was still there, and it was reduced in price to 69 euros. And at that time I had even less money. 69 euros was more than I had in total. If I wanted to buy the jacket, I had to sell something, maybe a guitar or maybe a cheap lens. A 60mm 1.8 lens, I could sell that for 69 and then buy the jacket. So I went in there with Anna, showed her the jacket because it was still there. And then we left because I didn't have any money for it. It was too painful to buy the jacket because then I would be very, very poor. Maybe had $10 or euros left at home if I go through all drawers. What happened then was Anna said she had to go to the toilet when we were outside, and she went in and bought the jacket for me. She gave it as a gift for me. And I still have the jacket, and I had the jacket on, I think maybe on over 300 videos on this channel. So you may know which jacket I mean. And it's very interesting because now 5 years later, I remember on Black Friday I bought some stuff. A new iMac for the next years as my work computer. A Nintendo Switch because I went to many cities and I usually take the bus or the train, and with I usually buy photography magazines, but when you go to cities a couple of times during the week, and in December I went often into cities to photograph people on the streets, you pretty quickly get to read everything there is. And so I thought I buy a Nintendo Switch with a couple of games just for the ride, not for home, just for on the train. So an iMac, I bought this all on the same weekend. The iMac, the Nintendo Switch, and some clothes. Some expensive stuff. And one of the things I bought was this shirt or this jersey. So let me just show you how it looks like with the teddy bear here. Now what's interesting about it? What's interesting is this pullover did cost me about 400 euros. It did cost me about 400 euros. And when I bought it, I had to think about the green jacket. And the feeling I had when I was looking at that green jacket, because I needed a jacket and I liked that jacket and I wanted to have it, but I could not afford it, and I knew it. And the feeling was really negative. That at 26 I cannot afford a jacket, not even for 69 euros, even if I need one. And now I bought this shirt for 399 euros with a big smile on my face, because because it was impossible some years ago. And it's very interesting, that feeling when you know something, some piece of clothing, which is really not, clothing is not important. You can put anything on. And nobody needs a shirt for 399 euros with a teddy on. Nobody needs that. It's not something that you buy because you need it. Nothing in the world actually is because it is needed. It is because somebody wants it. And it felt so interestingly because there was no pain involved. Now, if I bought this shirt 5 years ago, that would be so much pain because I probably would have to sell stuff to get the money for it. It would be a pain to buy a shirt for 399 euros. And now it was a really nice feeling because it was easy money in a way. And now what's interesting also in terms of this, because Anna did not work the year, and we have a baby, so I have very limited time to work actually, now with the baby at home and with Anna at home for 1 year. And we went on holidays once a month. Starting off in February, we came here, where Anna's parents are from, in Nerja, in Spain. I bought the 60 Mark II, only because I knew we were there for 1 year, for 1 month in Spain. And then we went to Naples, to Italy, in May, and in June again here to Nerja in Spain. And in July we went again to Spain, Cadiz, Marbella, Tarifa. Then in August we went to the cruise trip, Barcelona, Rome, Florence, Corsica, Mallorca on a big boat. In September to Venice and to Paris. In October again here to Spain, and now in December 2 weeks again. So we went to holidays actually once a month, which means I could only work maybe 2 to 3 weeks a month. And I did make more money in this year than in any other year. And now this is my story, but it is also a story. And I want you not to take this as my story, I want to take this as a story. So I believe that finding something that you love, which for me is taking pictures, is something very practical. Something that I can actually do every day is I can take a picture. I can do that. And then I have to find a way how to make money with it and still have a great emotion about it. And then I can do it every day, and the more I do it, the better I get. The better I get, the more I become. The better I become, I can charge for it. I can even charge more the better I become. I can put that money back into what I love to do, which is photography, buy new gear, make some, get into workshops, learn something. And everything is in a positive upward direction. And this is what I want to leave you with. Take this not as my story, take this as a story of somebody who started 5 years ago with nothing in his pocket and who is now standing here with a teddy bear on his 400 euro shirt. And that's not the expensive stuff. The expensive stuff was the traveling and the not time working. But actually what this is, it is just the beginning. It's 5 years in. And 5 years into something is not a career, it's still a beginning. And I want to stand here with 70 years old, in 40 years, still with a camera. And you can do that too.